Welcome to Ridgecrest Talk. I'm your host, Tonia Pyle, and Ridgecrest Talk is where the rubber meets the road today. My guests are Randy Brenneman
yeah.
and Christina Witt, and they're going to be talking to us about a project remembering our fallen. They're about to embark, and it's starting up quickly. So Christina, let me start with you because I found out about it from you.
Yes.
Did you start this? Found this?
Well, it's not something I founded. Actually, it was a project started in Nebraska.
Okay.
And it was a young man had passed in the War on Terror, and his father was still grieving years after the fact. Mm-hmm. And this guy was talking to the father, and he goes, What's going on? You're still grieving. You're not over it. And he says, my son's forgotten. What was the point of all this? Mm. So this man takes up this project, and he says, I can't allow these men and women who are dying in Afghanistan, Iraq, or even at home in accidents to go forgotten during this War on Terror. And so he started this project in Nebraska.
Okay.
And Bellevue University, as well as him, have been working to get a statewide, one for each state, called an exhibit, and California's was actually unveiled in January, and that was my first
of this year,
2015.
Okay.
And that was my first Patriot Guard ride.
Patriot Guard ride is what it's called.
Well,
Patriot
Guard riders, we escort veterans who have passed or even active duty to their final resting places.
I see.
Right.
That's the best way to summarize it.
Yeah. The Patriot Guard is actually founded by the American Legion of Riders back in the Midwest. There's a group called the Westboro Baptist Church that is notorious for wanting to protest at the funerals of fallen soldiers and Marines and all like that. This group of American Legion Riders came together, created the Patriot Guard, and what they do is they ride in support of the families of the fallen, and they isolate them and protect them from the protesters, so the family can grieve and put their loved ones in the funeral, without having all the worry about all the hate. So it was designed and originated for that, but it's morphed, and it's a nationwide, and it's actually in several different countries now too. Organization, anybody can join, and it is in support of the families of the fallen, and they do rides for people going to from boot camp and coming home on leave and stuff like that. But it's very much in support of our veterans is where the Patriot Guard came. And the ride she's talking about, when the California Remembering Our Fallen wall started, it was unveiled at the Reagan Library. And we got a group here in Ridgecrest. Our contingent went up, met with Antelope Valley, and then up in Simi Valley, and went and we performed the flag line for the families whose sons and daughters were on this wall. So it was a very big honor seeing, and there was like 700 and something families that we did the flag line for and honored them. Definitely very moving. And this is where we found out about the Remembering the Fallen wall.
So presently it's on exhibit in San Diego.
It will be when we go to pick it up.
Okay.
So right now it's traveling all over the state of California. It's been to Moreno, Pasadena, or no, it's on its way to Pasadena after us, Simi Valley. So it travels from place to place a week, whether it be a week or 2 weeks. Okay. We will actually have it for 2 weeks.
Okay, great.
And the Marines from Camp Pendleton will escort it to each destination. They set it up and everything. So it's not a stationary exhibit. It's going all over the place. And when I found out, I was, paying attention to what was being said about this exhibit, and he said, yeah, we want it to go all over the state of California. And I thought, cool. So came home, and I talked to the Randy and a couple of other people, and I said, how would you feel if I tried to get it up here? It's not like they said, oh, no, don't do it. They were excited. So I got a hold of Bill. He's the founder of the Remembering Our Fallen. And he said, when do you want it? And I said, well, we do a parade of 1,000 flags, and that will be on September 6th. And we do a candlelight vigil on 9/11. And I said, I want it for those dates. He said, okay, we'll schedule it from this day to this day. And I said, okay. got with City Council. They approved the Kerr-McGee Center, and so it is all, plans are ready to go for it to come up.
So it will be on display for all of us to go visit.
Yeah, it'll be inside the
see.
Kerr-McGee. And now each one, and I don't know if, when she studied, each state has their own wall. So the
Oh.
California wall is just for those California
Californians.
people who have died in the Gulf War of Terror since 9/11.
I see.
Now, what's happening is each state is creating their own. So this one that's coming here is just for California. And we actually have some families in the local area that have lost families in the Gulf War of Terror, and they're what they call Gold Star families. And
Gold Star.
You
families.
got two. You got a Blue Star family, and those are the ones where the veterans are actively serving.
All right.
Now, if a family member has died in the in war, they are what they call a Gold Star family. So, someone who's a Gold Star family member has lost someone in combat, and we've got several here in Ridgecrest who have. And part of what we're going to be doing is honoring them as well, because they have lost family, and they're going to be on the wall.
And do either of you have family members who have been veterans, or?
I have, my uncle's a veteran, my grandfather's a veteran.
And have you talked to people locally who know about this wall, or gotten any feedback from them about it, or not yet?
Well, no. We've gotten a lot of inquiries since we brought it up, and we're advertising it. Really, nobody's heard of this. This is something relatively new because, like I said, we only unveiled it in January. So, this is something brand new. So as we're getting the word out, we're starting to hear from Gold Star families that going, hey, I have a son, daughter, whatever it is that has died. How do I go about getting them on the wall? So we're bringing the awareness as well.
Very good.
So.
And some of them are very touching. There will be letters from children to their parents who have been in service, and it's quite touching. So it will mean a lot, and so we'll talk a little bit more about it. But right now, you're working to make people aware of it, and hoping other people will sign up to join your ride to San Diego and be escorted here.
That's part of it.
Okay,
the other
we'll hold that thought.
Okay.
And we'll share the next part
Okay.
for the next segment. We'll be right back with Ridgecrest Talk after this short break. All right, we're back with Ridgecrest Talk. My guests, Christina Witt and Randy Brenneman. They're talking to us about their project with Remembering Our Fallen. And you were about to tell me about a part.
Right. Getting it here is not free. There is cost associated with bringing it up here, paying for the Marines for their lodging and their travel and stuff like that. So what we're doing is we're creating a poker run. Well, not creating. We have created a poker run that we're going to do, and this is a fundraiser to not only help bring the wall here, but cover expenses, and depending on how successful we are, to help other states create their walls, and maybe get it to. There's a discussion on maybe going to a VA hospital. And maybe we can help fund getting it to the VA hospital. So the poker run, which is generally uniquely a motorcycle event, and we're opening it to everybody, whether you're in a car or a motorcycle, is going to be this Saturday, the 27th, and we start the registrations at 9 o'clock, and then as soon as they register, then they can go out. We got 5 stops.
Let's talk about registration.
Okay.
So to raise funds for this, then there's a $20 fee, a minimal $20 fee. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's per hand.
Right.
And cage.
Well, it's actually it's not per hand. The second hand is 35. It's for 2 hands. It's 35. So you get a little bit of a discount.
Getting more than one card.
For more than one car.
Yeah.
Second hand meaning another person.
Or you can play 2 hands.
Or you can play 2 hands.
I see. Okay. Okay, I'm with you. I'm with you now.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking hands,
Yeah.
I tie my hand behind my back. So
Try riding that way.
So all right. So and then Okay, so or two hands for $35, and so there's, and then you've got some other things going on, a card trade event, or
Well, go ahead.
50-50.
Okay, so after you've done your poker run, you go through all 5 stops and you collect a card. Once you collect the card, you can sit there and say, okay, this is my hand. Now, this isn't like a regular poker where I'm sitting there dealing it out. You actually reach your hand in and you grab a card. So it can
Okay.
be anything.
Okay.
So at the end of the run, the final card will be drawn at the American Legion post, and they can draw it. And if they don't like the card or any other card, they can say, I want to trade this 2 of clubs for a donation in the hopes that I get a better card for a better hand.
Okay.
So in a way,
That's
it's kind of
fun.
like poker
fun.
in real life. But
Who came up with this? Oh, because you said this was a regular.
This is historically a motorcycle event, and poker
Okay.
runs have been going on for a very long time.
Okay.
They're very popular. People like to do them, and they are usually very successful with fundraising. So this is what it's easy to do. People like them. You generally get a good turnout. So that's why we decided to go with the poker run.
Great. So it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
yes, and we've had a lot of support by the local businesses. Guns for Us being one of them, Fry's, Lugo's, Tokyo House, A&L Tire, Indulgences has donated 2 facials. I mean, it's just support's just been amazing.
Glad to hear
Yeah.
that. Glad
Yeah,
to hear that.
the generosity within the community, it just really floors you. Because businesses get hit up all the time for donations. But when you go in with a cause as worthy as this one, like I said, the generosity is just
community,
it's
that's
just
what we're all about.
and
Yeah.
we're getting individual donations from individuals as well. Cash donations on, so I mean it really is getting a lot more of a success than we had envisioned. Because
want
it's the
you to
first
be
one that we put
successful.
on. Yeah, so we're really really
Operation
looking forward-
Family Fund has donated
Oh, that's right.
$1,000 for it to come up, and they're actually Operation Family Fund is also helping arrange us for lodging. Once we get closer to the date, we find out how many people, so that way we either get free or discounted lodging for the people who are going to be staying the night to escort it up in the morning.
So you'll be leaving Saturday morning. People register and hit the road
Right.
Yep.
right away. They're heading for San Diego.
No.
Or no.
No,
Okay.
Now we're
No,
talking. Sorry.
The poker run is what's Saturday.
Okay.
So when they register for the poker run, and then they go. And we've got 5 stops set up in the local area: Trona, Randsburg, Cal City, Indian Wells Valley Brewery, and here. It's a 160-mile trip. And they just go to each one of the stops, and at each stop, they draw a card.
Oh, how fun.
So they hit all 5 stops. There's no particular order. You just, go, come back when you're done. And then that's the poker run. The trip she's talking about is in the end of August.
Okay.
Is the Patriot Guard and the American Legion Riders are going to ride down to San Diego the night prior, stay overnight. We're going to collect the wall, escort the wall and the Marines from San Diego to Ridgecrest. So we'll give it the honor guard escort that it needs. And that's part of what the fundraiser is for, is, like I said, helping the transport of it up here. And then
And how many do you think are going to be participating in
it's
that?
hard to tell. Something like this, we
Well, the
can get
poker-
upwards of 50 people, at the escort. At the poker run, we're looking
have-
at probably 100 plus people.
You folks are kind of in uniform here. Is this what you wear?
Yes, it is.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. So these are your names? Are you Shadow?
These are our nicknames.
And
Yeah.
you are No. No. No.
I am no.
Okay.
Yeah, this is part of the American Legion, the Riders. And the American Legion Riders are a subgroup out of the American Legion. We're definitely a very veteran-oriented activity. Again, the American Legion Riders are a national entity. So we've got the traditional motorcycle vest with the patch on the back. It's a one-piece. Big distinction here is we're not a motorcycle club.
Okay.
We are a riding organization.
Okay.
So when you take a look at the motorcycle clubs, they operate off a very distinct set of rules and the way they do business. We are an organization. We're just veterans that belong to the American Legion that like to ride.
I see.
So and that's what we are, and that's our main focus is on the veterans. We do like to get out and ride and do fun runs and stuff like that, but our main focus is on supporting the veterans, supporting the local community, and that is our focus.
So we're going to be taking a break here shortly. So when we come back, I want to get into a little bit of some of the rules
Okay.
and some of the let's even talk some about safety
Okay.
and riding bikes, because more and more people are taking an interest in getting out there and letting their hair down,
Yeah.
blowing in the wind, and so but there's some things to be aware of
Yes.
when you do that, and you've experienced these kinds of road trips before.
Yes, we have.
And so we'll get into that a little bit. And so I guess we're gonna get ready for a break right now. But you both look so nice in your
Thank you.
uniforms.
Thanks.
Your hats stay on
Oh, yes.
and everything.
Not when we ride.
Okay.
We have helmets.
Okay. Oh yeah, you have to
Yeah.
wear a helmet.
Yes.
All right, welcome back to Ridgecrest Talk with Christina, Witt, and Randy Brenneman. Randy, you're the president
Yes.
of this particular organization, or this particular event.
I'm the president of the Ridgecrest chapter of
Okay.
the American Legion Riders.
Oh,
We
okay.
actually fall underneath the Department of California American Legion Riders, who then fall under the national.
I see.
So each town and each American Legion post that has a rider chapter has their own leadership setup. They have, their own president, vice president, treasurer, that kind of thing. And this is our group here. We actually formed in April, so we've only been operating now for 2 months. And it actually has taken off very, very well. There had been some efforts before to get the chapter stood up, but the timing on this was just right. When we redoubled our effort on it, we got a bunch of veterans to sign up. We're up to about 15 members now.
Now, I wanted to ask you. Oh, I didn't want to
No,
interrupt
it's
you,
okay.
but you distinguish between a motorcycle club
Yes.
and a rider organization. And so, sort of, and you said you don't have to follow the same regulations and rules that a motorcycle club has to follow.
This is correct. The motorcycle clubs are definitely very organized, club-centric.
Okay.
And, it's been described as a lifestyle.
If I may interrupt.
Sure.
So you have like your motorcycle club, like you have the Hogs. The only way you can be a hog is if you own a Harley Davidson.
No, the Hogs are an association. She's talking like Iron Order,
Oh, okay.
Disturbed Souls, where they actually have to prospect into it. So there's definitely an initiation. With
Oh.
us, it's, hey, I want to join, here's my money, and you're in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Sorry.
So you
It's
know,
okay.
it's kind of like a clique versus everybody's in, and so.
Right.
What about the rules then? Rules of the road and things like this, because I'm just I've ridden my bike from
Right.
I think I mentioned from Long Beach to San Diego with a group before, and there were a couple people who had some problems along the way, and so it's you have to be able to pick people up.
Yes.
And does that happen with?
It does happen. Unfortunately, we've had some times where we've had people lay a bike down, or have had a mechanical breakdown and stuff like that. One of the nice things about being in a motorcycle organization, it's very tight knit. Motorcycle riders. It's hard to explain, but we definitely look out for our own.
There's a
You know,
camaraderie.
you're not out
Yes,
there by
good,
yourself. So
right.
if you're riding in a group, and one person breaks down, well, the whole group pulls over, and you don't go anywhere until that person's either fixed or you can get a trailer out for them.
But now, with your organization, then again, you also said that you don't have to ride a motorcycle. Is that right?
just with the
Just for this event,
Just for the event, for the poker run.
for the poker run,
Right.
You can actually drive a car
Okay.
and things like that.
because it's a fundraiser.
It is.
To get more people involved.
Right,
Okay.
because when you limit it to a centric group of people, it's like,
Right.
what if we wanted to
You're
contribute?
shedding out funds that you could be bringing
Right, yeah, so bring a minivan, take a bunch of kids, go to the Randsburg General Store, get homemade soda,
Yes. Right.
it's, things like that.
in. When are you going to be in Randsburg?
When am I? Well, it depends on when I get registered.
Oh.
Yeah, Randsburg's one of our stops.
Okay.
The
Randsburg's one
Randsburg
of
General
our
Store.
stops.
Yeah.
Okay.
Our stops for the poker run are going to be the Elks Lodge in Trona,
Okay.
the General Store at Randsburg,
Okay.
the VFW in California City,
Uh-huh.
Indian Wells Valley Brewery, and then the final stop back at the American Legion post here in town.
And then for
Fun
safety
stops.
purposes is we will be documenting you know, names and card numbers. So each card has a number. It'll have a name associated with that person. Of course, we have a release of liability, which will have contact information. And as you hit each stop, we're going to hit a time. Okay, we were here at 11:30, or you know, whatever. And then we know, okay, people are probably going to stop and have some water, or maybe a sandwich, or because all these establishments are opening up for us.
Yes.
So you can patron these establishments and then go to the next stop. Well,
That everybody checks in and you know everyone's on board. And
yeah, and if we end up with, hey, it's been an hour, where is rider number or driver, you know, if you're in a car, what's going on, we can call and check in to make sure that everybody is safe and send out a lookout team or whatever. But typically when the biker is stopped on the side of the road, other bikers, if you're a solo rider, will stop and aid and give assistance and bring lots of water, because this is a long ride.
Probably going to be a hot day.
Yes, they're saying about 105. So.
Well, what haven't I asked you'd like to share with us?
Pretty much that's about it. You know, we're definitely really trying to get the word out about the polka run, and the cause for the Remember Our Fallen. You know, obviously, you know, for the American Legion riders, we're looking at people who are interested, because you know, we are brand new. You know, so we're looking to get the word out that, hey, we're here.
Yes.
And the American Legion riders, because we're a part of the American Legion, you have to be a member of the American Legion first.
All right.
And there's 3 entities within that. You've got the American Legion post itself, which is your veterans.
All right.
You've got auxiliary members who have, like Christina, she's auxiliary.
Supportive and...
Yeah.
Well, I have a relative that was a veteran.
Right.
Okay.
And then we have what we call Sons of the American Legion,
Uh-huh.
and they are sons who have had fathers or mothers who are veterans that are eligible for the Legion.
Uh-huh.
So the American Legion riders, we draw from all 3.
Okay.
You know,
What are you?
I'm a veteran. I'm actually
Oh.
retired military. I did 20
Oh.
years in the Navy.
Okay.
And you know, so I'm a veteran, and you'll see on the back of the patches.
Well, thank you for your service.
Oh, well, thank you. But you'll see on the back of the patches how it's identified. You know, mine will
Okay.
say veteran on the bottom.
Okay.
If they're a member of the auxiliary, it'll say auxiliary. And if they're sons of the American Legion, it'll say squadron. But we're all American Legion. You know, the saying is we're Legionnaires first, riders second. But we definitely want to get the word out that we're here. You know, this community has a tremendous amount of veterans, and a lot of them ride. But they're not
Right.
aware that the riders are here. So we're definitely trying to get the word out that, you know, hey, if you'd like to ride, you want to be part of a veterans organization, you know, give us a try.
What about age? What's the age
18.
bracket? In our
18.
brief time here, they have to be 18.
You have to be, for the riders, you have to be 18, and you have to be a licensed motorcycle rider,
All right.
and you have to own a motorcycle.
Okay.
So those are really the 3 requirements.
And then aside from your group, there's still time for people who may want to participate in getting information to the wall that's coming, the remembrance wall. And all of that, they can contact you at your, what's the number to contact you?
Well, actually, we've got an email set up.
Okay.
If they'd like to contact us, it's ALRpost684@gmail.com. All one word, ALRpost684@gmail.com.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.